When I first came back from Oak Haven, people were like, did you go get your chi on? You know, it was kind of a little bit of a joke, and it was for me too, because I didn't really know what to expect. And so I kind of just said, yeah, I did. I came home from work one night, and I can't even remember what it was, but it obviously was something that, with my kids, used to set me off, you know. And maybe it was shoes at the bottom of the stairs or laundry on the couch, I don't know what it was. And Hannah made a comment about it, and I just said, we'll get to it, it's all right, you know. Are you okay? Like, you've been really different since you've been home.
Addison, who are you calling? China?
Oh, she seems more relaxed, more calm, laid back. It's nice to have a conversation with her without her having to worry about what needs to be done around the house or chores or errands.
She's like laid back, and like she comes home from work and she's happy, like she's not yelling at anyone.
She doesn't yell. Yeah, the family's a lot more relaxed ever since she got back.
And when Dr. Hall said, how many of you all pray? I pray every day, I pray all the time. How many of you meditate? None of us did. And she says, in prayer, simply put, you spend your time asking for blessings or asking for direction or asking. And she said, in meditation, you just sit still long enough to hear the answers. I have learned to not be so reactive to things. And I do take more time before I respond, or, gosh, do I really need to be worried about that right now?
I see her definitely applying the skills that Dr. Hall taught her, and life's just much easier to deal with.
It's not about creating a new habit, because a habit is mindless. A habit is something that you do without thinking about what you're doing. Guilty. Practicing it means you have to think about it and work at it and perfect it. My big epiphany from the weekend was, nobody put this on me but me. That was my big thing. I did this to me. Once I was able to identify that, it literally changed my world overnight. Overnight. Craziest thing that's ever happened to me. If I were to give anybody advice that thinks maybe, oh gosh, my life is kind of like hers, would be to surrender. I am not a person that surrenders to anything easily. And that's what landed me here. That word used to scare the hell out of me. And I don't know why. It doesn't anymore. But it is the one thing that I'll have to remind myself every day, probably for the rest of my life. Surrender.
From the weekend retreat, I did realize that, you know, life's pretty simple. And I've never been simple. So I learned the art of meditation and healthy eating and exercise. And in reality, I haven't had the time to put all these things in place. When I came back into Atlanta to really do this foundation, if I'm gonna be in Atlanta, I wanna have some purpose here and give back and get back in Atlanta, and that's what I'm doing. You can, you know, get busy living or get busy dying. I'm getting busy living.
I just wanna say thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me fulfill my dream. Thank you for getting passion back in my life. And thank God for giving me a second chance. Amen. That's what I wanna say.
Everybody that was there did good intent, goodwill, and a lot of people, I know everybody's busy, but a lot of people I thought would do some things, didn't do them. But I was pretty sad, depressed about it at first. And then I started getting some love from people I didn't know, and so that was kind of an unexpected pleasure. Don't sweat the small stuff, because it ain't that doggone important.
My word for you is commitment. Before you leave here, I'm wishing for you commitment to the practices.
My commitment is going to be to keep direction, you know, keep the mission. The event's over now. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to make a little bit of money, have a little bit of peace of mind, you know, just slow it down and find what's really good in life. That's what I'm going to do for me.